It's been 2 years since Promise came to the rescue of poetry in America. Poetry in America is the initiative I founded some 4 years ago to bring enjoyment and understanding of poetry to classrooms and living rooms everywhere. By March of 2015, I had data worries that kept me up at night. I had created hundreds of hours of video filmed across the country with dozens of distinguished guests and ordinary citizens.
All of this media needs to be ready for designers, animators, composers, editors, whoever needs it, whenever they want it. It just has to be ready. So we have situations where one editor is working on Avid, the person next to them is working on Premiere, and the person next to them is on Final Cut Pro. All three of them need to access the same media at the same time, and we need to not slow down. We've got footage coming in that's H.264, we've got 4K, who knows what's going to come next. We need a way to keep everything in one place and be assured that it's still going to be there later.
What would happen if I lost my interview with Katie Couric or with David Brooks? What about my action footage of the Harvard basketball team or of the North Carolina women's soccer team, or my amazing discussions with hip hop artist Nas? What if I lost that valuable footage? In the short term, it would be a loss for the courses I was creating for teachers and for the television series I'd begun working on. But I'd also started to see that what I had was an archive that would someday be valuable to biographers and scholars of our times. At a crucial juncture in the life of my project, Tina Coronis of Digital Partners Incorporated reached out to Promise, and they supplied a solution.
So when the Promise gear arrived and we had the VTrak A-Class, it was a godsend because everything was in one place. This was so much better than juggling drives. Now Promise has us ready to roll 24/7 with the VTrak A-Class array with SandLink fiber channel outputs that allow multiple editors on multiple platforms. And I can sleep at night because of the dependability of the array's redundant file system and an extra set of protection with an LTO tape backup and archiving system.
For 2 years, my team has had the gear they needed to get our work done. It's 2 years later, however, and we've now run out of space. It's been such a busy year. We filmed this year in classrooms and in the White House with Bono and our current US Poet Laureate, and with ocean scientists at Conservation International. And I'm now not only making media, but teaching a course at Harvard's Bach Center for Teaching and Learning, where I help students make educational media for audiences around the world. Once again, Promise has saved me, beefing up our array with sufficient terabytes to keep us going for a few more years. So for the third year, now even more grateful than in the last two, I and the whole team from Poetry in America send our thanks to you.
Thanks, Promise.
Thank you, Promise.
Thanks, Promise.
Thanks, Promise.
Thank you, Promise.